All right, so you want to make a lot of money from copywriting. Well, I've helped hundreds of copywriters to make more money, and I found that there's only 4 types of premium clients that you actually want to work with if you want to be paid well, if you want your time respected, and if you want to live the life that you got into this industry for in the first place. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first type of premium client that you want to go for, online, well-established businesses. I'm talking Forbes.com, Entrepreneur.com, Chess.com, Duolingo, big names, big businesses people are familiar with. You want to work with these businesses because they have money, they're doing well. That's like the simplest concept here, is if they have money, they're going to pay you well. So don't go for businesses that don't pay well. Like all these unknown brands, if you have to try and like tell me, oh yeah, I'm working with this person, they're like up and coming, they're a startup, they're small, no one really knows, like you could maybe make $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, but they're not going to pay you $8,000 a month, you know? And that's what I'm talking about here. When I say premium, I'm talking, you know, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 minimum per month. You're not going to get that kind of money from some very, very small business. So that would be the first thing, is big, well-known, established brands online. The second one is agencies. And the reason I say agencies, I didn't used to say this. Agencies used to be very, very low paid. It used to be like a big issue, but more recently, a lot of my private clients are working with agencies and they're making quite a bit of money. They're making good money, $6,000, $8,000. One client even gets paid $12,000 every single month working with an agency. And the reason that this is so good is that they find all the clients for you. You know, like an agency's out there looking for all the business, and they have systems, they have processes, they have copy chiefs usually as well. Like they have a team of people there to support you. So if you work with an agency, you're also probably going to learn a lot faster than if you're working alone. So I would highly recommend agencies from that perspective. There are some agencies that pay badly, like they pay poorly, and there are agencies that will, you know, be difficult and want to track your time, but there are some good agencies out there. The best agencies usually have like the other 3 types of premium clients as their main clients, which is interesting. So I would say agencies is the second most important premium client. These are a little bit easier to get into than well-established brands, because agencies are usually looking for up-and-coming writers and successful people, because then they know, okay, well, you know, maybe we can get a $5,000 deal with this copywriter instead of paying $10,000. And the copywriter gets a lot of opportunities at the same time. So it's a really good balance of, like, we want to work with someone that doesn't have like loads and loads of experience because we're an agency, but at the same time, we also want to work with someone who's committed and works hard. And that might be the one catch, is like, even if they pay you maybe 10, 15K a month, they're still very, very demanding. An agency is going to make you work really, really, really hard. Like you're not going to be able to have 5 different clients if you work with an agency. So keep that in mind. I still think agency work is probably the best way to build your career in the early days, because you just have so much exposure. Like all the best marketers and copywriters I know usually worked in an agency for a few years before they transition into freelance. So if you haven't worked with an agency before, I'd highly recommend that you try it, give them a shot. You'll probably learn a lot of successful copywriters start there. You could be one of them. So those are the first 2. By the way, we're here at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. But, it's pretty cool. It's amazing. It's the first time I've been here. And it's actually a little noisy. People coming here and like want to take a photo exactly where we are. So we're going to talk about the other 2 types of premium clients somewhere else. Let's go. All right, cool. So we found a slightly quieter place here at the Eiffel Tower, a little bit lower on the first floor. You can actually see the River Seine behind us. It's actually it's a really nice time of day. The sun's actually like shining into it from here, so there's like a reflection on the water. I never expected Paris to be this beautiful, actually. I kind of been to a few cities and I didn't expect it to be like this. It's nice. So anyway, the third type of premium client is a professional internet marketer. And when I say professional internet marketer, I mean like very, very copy dependent, direct response heavy. They pump emails, they need ads, they need landing pages. They're constantly testing offers. they're optimizing the algorithm, they're optimizing for their average order value, their cart value, like LTV, all the numbers that you hear in the industry, all those sort of businesses. And they're a little similar to the one I'm about to talk to you about, the fourth one, but these are much more like they're faceless a lot of the time. They're faceless offers. They have ads that are running. You might see them on Facebook. ClickBank is like a big example of this. These are good clients because they're going to pay you a lot and they're going to need a lot of work from you. So they're going to pay you often and again and again and again. And the only thing with these businesses is that they're very demanding when it comes to like good copy. Like they're going to need a lot of good copy from you. So you're going to have to keep practicing. Like you're going to have to be a strong writer to work with these kinds of businesses. I mean, it's kind of a given at this point, if you're watching my videos on this channel, that you should be a strong writer. You can't get away with average copy. So, make sure you're a good writer. But of the three, I would say that we've talked about so far, I would say that the most difficult one to write for would definitely be the direct response internet marketing pros. They're quite difficult to please. They have a very specific style. And a lot of the time, the CEO once upon a time was also a copywriter. So they're like also going to look at your copy as if they had written it, and they're going to be like, that's nice. I like this hook, but like, here's what we would have done, or here's what I would have done. Yeah, I used to work with a very intense direct response heavy business. They like needed copy. They needed a lot of emails, a lot of sequences, a lot of ads, a lot of landing pages, a lot of tests, a lot of headlines. Like they just needed copy day in, day out, day in, day out. And that's good. You get a lot of practice, you get really good. In the olden days, like that was like the main business for copywriters, but now there's all these other ones. I think most businesses are realizing the power of social media and direct response copy. Like they're incorporating it into their business a lot. You're seeing this more often these days. A lot of businesses have figured out that they need good copy, they need clear direct response funnels. Like a lot of e-commerce businesses, they're getting inspiration from the way that we do direct response. And so they're adding direct response tactics to, like stuff that previously was very, very templatized, product-based. You're getting sales letter pages. I mean, like for example, the way people sell supplements, like VSL funnels that sell supplements. It's not new, but it's using copywriting tactics and strategies and principles of direct response to sell physical products, which you could just buy on Amazon with a completely different strategy, right? So those are the first three, and the last one's my favorite one. So let's just summarize real quick. So the first one is well-established online respected businesses. The second one is agencies. The third one is direct response heavy professional internet marketers. The fourth one, my favorite one, the one I've worked with the most, have you guessed it? It's personal brands. Now, I like personal brands because personal brands have a nice mix of established stuff that works from direct response, but also using and leaning into that influencer, that mass, well-known, like celebrity appeal, So a lot of personal brands, they have that extra authority and credibility, which makes it a lot easier to sell for them. Like when you write emails and you're writing them from the perspective of a personal brand, people see the sender name as like, oh, wow, it's Tony Robbins, he sent me an email. They're going to just trust it, even if he didn't write the email, So what I like about personal brands is how easy it is to leverage that authority in your copy, and you don't have to do a lot of stuff that you would have to do without a face to the brand. Like with a faceless brand, you have to establish your authority. You have to keep reminding people. You do have to do that to some extent with personal brands too, but not to the same level. Like it's a lot easier to work with personal brands from that perspective. The catch is you have to understand voice. You have to know how to write in a way that sounds like the brand, because if you don't sound like the brand, then you're definitely going to kill the sale, because then they're like, oh, I don't think this is actually him. Maybe it's fake, or maybe this is not really him speaking, somebody else is speaking for him, he's just selling a product, or she's just selling a product. So you have to know voice, you have to master voice. And when you work with personal brands, they pay very, very well, because most personal brands can sell a lot of their product with just a couple of emails, or just a few ads, or just one very short promotion on YouTube. Like just think about it. If you have 1 million followers on YouTube and you release something, you could make $100,000 in one weekend. That's a good return on money. So if you're the copywriter and you charge $2,000 or $3,000, heck, even $5,000 for just 10 emails, even if you just charge $5,000 for 10 emails, think about it. You send 10 emails for one of those established personal brands. How much money do you think that it's going to be worth to them? It's like you just made them $100,000. Yeah, sure, they could have made it themselves, but the hassle of trying to come up with a strategy, knowing the strategy, knowing how to write it, they could just run another promotion next week, another $100,000. Like good, really, really good personal brands, they make multiple millions per year, and their profit margins are really, really high. And this is like a massive opportunity for you in 2026, because if you understand how to use AI and you work with these personal brands, life's going to be easy mode. And I say that it sounds kind of like a BizOp concept, but I've seen the power of AI. I've seen what AI can do. Chatting with Mike yesterday here in Paris, and he wrote a sequence for his clients in 2 hours. 2 hours, $2,000 email sequence. It's $1,000 an hour thanks to AI. So, you can make that kind of money. It's possible these days. It wasn't possible when I got started. I could maybe get to like $400 an hour, which isn't actually bad, but like AI is really changing the game. So if you work with personal brands and you understand AI, game over. It's insane. Yeah, I'd say personal brands of the four, they're the best. They're the best to work with too. You also learn a lot of cool stuff. Like it's so cool working with a brand. Let's say you could work with let's use Tony Robbins again as an example. Like what if you worked with Tony Robbins? Think of how you get paid well. Like that goes on your resume or your CV, that goes on your LinkedIn, your Facebook. Like you can say, oh yeah, I write emails for Tony Robbins. Like, you know how powerful it is? There are copywriters in the dojo who have those kinds of brags that they can use, and they're like, oh yeah, I work with so-and-so. It's like, damn, like let me hire you because you already got those names on your CV, and it's just really impressive. And tell me more, and like, what's it like to work with them? And like sales calls become a joke because everybody's impressed by that. So I would say if you can close some personal brand clients, your whole life will be different. You'll make a lot of money, and it's actually quite easy to build a really, really profitable copywriting business. Once you get the first one, then you can get another one, then another one. It just gets easier and easier the more personal brand clients you have. So I've got a video on how we close personal brand clients on YouTube here. So I'll link it over here for you. And that video is the 12 ways to close premium copywriting clients. There's 12 strategies that work right now. I would say target personal brands as the main one, but don't ignore the other three because all four of these are very, very powerful. But the biggest thing is you have to actually say no to businesses that are not part of these four. That's the catch, because there are a lot of people on Upwork, there are a lot of startups, there's a lot of software companies that look good on paper, but they don't need anything. Or they might be decent projects like once in a while, like maybe you charge $2,000 and you write them a website, but they no longer need copy after the website. So it's not like there aren't other good clients out there, it's just that they're not gonna pay you at the level where you need to be paid like $20,000, $25,000 a month. Oh yeah, so another thing that's really cool about personal brands is that you can take their YouTube videos like this one. Personal brands are always posting videos, they're always posting stuff on social media. You can take that content, you can teach it to AI, you can use it yourself to write copy, and it's gonna be really close to exactly what they wanna say because it's already on their social, it's pre-approved. It's like pre-approved copy that you can use for them. And I did this with one of my biggest clients when I first got started for him. I was very nervous, I didn't know how to deliver. So what I would do is I'd watch his videos. This was before AI, by the way, but with AI it would have been even easier. I would watch his videos, I would take notes on what he said, and then I'd write an email about it, and they loved it. They're like, oh yeah, that sounds just like him. That's really, really good, And I was like, yeah, I watched the YouTube videos, and I used what you guys already have been producing. So go get some personal brand clients. They're the easiest to work with. They pay the best. They're an amazing experience, and that's all I got for you for today. Let's go drink some overpriced coffee.
ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಹಿಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬನ್ನಿ